working to spread the message of the beef initiative and everything that you're doing every day with that. What is your vision with that?
Well, what you do is you look at what I think, and this works very well for me. And I was glad when old Simon Sinek came around and he really articulates it well, right? What is your why? What is your why? What is your why? I think about that and I tell my team all the time, define your why, your what, and the how. I learned that back in doing websites in the very beginning of website development, and that was part of my journey into technology. Is I was a project manager. I was pretty good at it, and defining your why, your what, and the how is just a huge recipe for success and clarity. And so I encourage everybody to kind of follow that approach. Well, the why of the beef initiative is to save children's lives by giving the great American rancher a voice that they've never had in the digital space, but was also stolen out of their communities when the processing centers were taken out. So my why is to save lives. Nothing else matters. Don't get in my way. I know my why. If you're going to ask me, I'll tell you. I'm not going to argue anything else. And I'm going to look at you and I'm going to say, well, I'm here to save children's lives. Why are you here? And I get to use that because anybody that comes after me and questions me, because we have proof of work now. We've sold millions of dollars worth of beef, hopefully by this point. We're feeding families, thousands of families now. Children are now having a new consumption model from basically, hopefully, birth all the way into their childhood. And so we have results. What is your intention? Why are you even talking to me unless you're not having the same, or do you want to collaborate? Do you have something to contribute? And so be able to define my why within the beef initiative, that gave me a roadmap of a vision that this is like 100 to 200 year vision, is that we're going to save children's lives by basically giving the great American rancher producer a voice that they've never had. And we're going to do it with technology. We're going to borrow from the past, just like my grandfather and my great grandfathers taught me, as far as living and learning how to eat the earth again. It's as simple as that. Once we do that, what is that? Well, there's no competition there, man. This is a collaboration. And so the beef initiative is a collaboration. I will not allow any competition in the beef initiative. We don't talk, we don't judge. You bring to the table why you do what you do and how you do it. What is it that you do and how can we help and how can we collaborate? But you're not going to point fingers at those other ranchers. You're not going to point fingers at other people. See, that's what they taught us whenever they commoditized and subsidized our food industry. They taught the producers to butt heads instead of to collaborate. My grandfather used to work with his community. Everybody in that community made sure that everybody has success as far as the crops they were raising and the animals that they were stewarding, because it was the land that they were taking care of. By doing that, they fed their community. They didn't need doctors. They didn't need specialists. They were their own basically source of empowerment, and their vision was clear. It was a two-party line system. It was peer-to-peer. It was decentralized. And you don't have to be big. I hear Joe Rogan all the time asking people, how do we scale the regenerative? We're not trying to scale shit, man. That's what got us in trouble. What we're trying to do is replicate success after success. Maybe it's just one individual man's success. He has 2 to 3 people in his community. How'd you do it? Tell us about it. Or maybe you're like Cole Bolton that's feeding the whole state of Texas. Hey, Cole, let's tell everybody how you've done this. Or maybe it's Justin Trammell that's feeding a 30-mile radius. Quit scaling. Quit scaling your thought. Replicate, create a successful model to feed your community. The number one community is you first. How are you going to do that? Then share that. Share it and collaborate with other people and talk about the successes. Don't focus on the failures. You can talk about the failures, but how you iterate it into successes. All we're doing is replicating personal achievement. And this is what people don't understand, because they automatically think, oh, we got to go feed the world. We don't have to feed the world. That was the psyop they told our farmers and ranchers back in the early 70s. We've never fed the world. We created a distribution system of devalued food that's very highly profitable. That's what we did. And a lot of people won't want to take ownership of that, or they don't even want to admit that. They don't want to accept it. And so, once again, if you can create a vision of yourself first, replicate it to a couple other people, then replicate it to a community that's larger than that. If that's enough, great. Or if you want to go around the world with it, get busy. I'm going to go around the world with replicating everything that I've done as far as the successes that we've had since day one that I wrote The Harvest of Deception.